Hello, it is Throwback Thursday, March 26th, 2020. Steve Sipress here, catching the tail end of another beautiful sunset here on a beautiful, if a little bit chilly, spring day here in sunny Arizona. Temps didn't get above 70. I hear in a few days are getting into the 80s, so things are happening here. I did take the first dip into the pool of the season a couple of days ago, but not today. Anyway, and there we see the moon. A crescent moon is out above the sunset. So we got the sun and the moon kind of crowding in on each other. Social distancing, sun and moon. You got to stay apart. Anyway, so let's get today's Throwback Thursday. I'm going to tell you a story that goes back about 35 years. I'm going to start out with the fact that business owners right now, during this downturn, during this shutdown, can learn a lot. Can really get through this by having the mindset of a farmer. So a farmer understands that, of course, now I don't know if you've ever been on a farm yourself, if you're a farmer, or you likely have read about it in a book, seen it in a movie, maybe you know someone else that worked on a farm. I happened to have spent 2 summers as a teenager up in Vermont. When I lived in New York, went up to Vermont for 2 summers to work on a dairy farm. And so none of the kids were brought there because we had any kind of skills. So they rotated us around the kind of unskilled, simple positions. And so we learned how to pretty much run the whole farm throughout the course of the summer. I mean, we'd spend 1 week, shoveling the cow manure out of the barn. We'd spend a week, and that's taking a bunch of showers there and washing the clothes a lot. We spent a week chopping wood. We'd spend a week grooming and feeding the horses and then cleaning out the stables. We spend a week in the garbage truck, up all the garbage, dropping it off at the dump. A week on kitchen duty, setting the tables, serving the food, and then cleaning up all the dishes and dishwashing and all that stuff afterwards. All kinds of, I remember so excited getting assigned to the painting crew. However, as luck would have it, for that week, we did not see a paintbrush. We didn't see any cans of paint, rollers, nothing of the sort. Climbed up on ladders in one of the big, long, white buildings, and all we got was the scrapers. See, that was time actually for about 2-3 weeks. It was just a lot of scraping going on. You had to scrape off the old paint, something I never knew before. You had to scrape off all the old paint before you could put on the new paint. And so painting included the thankless, no fun job of scraping and little pieces of paint, I guess it was, and wood and whatever, going into your face and your eyes and all over your body, and oh my goodness, that was no fun at all. I'd rather have the little pieces of paint, fresh paint, going all over me and see seeing like a job well done, like what was that, Tom Sawyer, like Paint the Fence, or Mr. Miyagi. Like, it's fun to get something done like that. Anyway, that's the farmer's mentality. Not everything is fun, and not everything is fruitful immediately. So how do you think a farmer can get excited to get up at dawn and work till dark 7 days a week in the spring? Did you ever think about it? Oh, that reminds me, we'd spend a week out in the field. So at a certain time early in the year, we'd be pruning and weeding the bushes, raspberries and so forth. And later in the year, we'd be picking them and getting all kinds of, just the hands get all chopped up from all the thorns, picking those berries, and so on. But anyway, the farmer gets excited. Says, hey, the ground up north, where I'm from, up north, down here, it's kind of always nice, I guess, but up north, at least, where I worked on the farm and new farmers, you wait till the ground breaks, till it thaws. All right, now we can plant. Well, how do they get excited about planting? Do you think the farmer says, now we can plant, and later today we'll sell the crops and make money? So every day we're making money. Of course not. See, that's not the farming mentality. The farming mentality is like a startup mentality of a business. Every spring it's a startup. That's where you invest all the time, money, and effort. You set the wheels in motion, and you put things in place so that later on you can start to sell and get some revenue and hopefully earn some profit. I mean, the farmer doesn't just get to be a farmer in the fall when he gets to take the crops to the market and sell them and bring in all the money. No, he's got to be a farmer all spring and summer long with no money coming in and all the time, money and effort going out to plant, to take care of the fields, to water, to weed, to, take care of everything. Make sure everything is going along way before any money comes in. Well, now what has this got to do with anything? And, well, my story has to do with Throwback Thursday. I just threw it back to when I was a teenager over 40 years ago, telling my story of living on a farm. Bring it back to present day, and it has everything to do with the mentality and the strategy you need to have right now during the shutdown. See, the shutdown is not the harvest time. This is not the time to go out and sell stuff. First of all, people are not really spending a lot of money right now unless it's on a necessity. And then they're sometimes overspending, like on toilet paper and hand sanitizer and all that kind of stuff. But if you are the vast majority of business owner who doesn't sell something that is a commodity, a necessity, then you are suffering right now and going, when is this going to end? Because I can't make any money. I see interviews on TV and on online with business owners, we're shut down and I got to lay everybody off, and what are we going to do? And this is not the time to be selling stuff. This is the time to be planting. This is the time to have the farmer's mentality, to be excited about the planting. And I'll tell another story that goes back 35 years. And this is to when I ran my first of my multi-million-dollar business. This was a mail order business, and it was a seasonal business. And every season in would come, I would do all the printing of the brochures and the envelopes and the return number 9 envelopes on the inside of those, and a letter going out. All this material had to be all printed, and see, there was no internet. And nowadays, the analogy would be, the comparable thing would be to a website being built. You build the website, or you put together the online ad program, and you go through all the graphics and all the copy and all the ads and the follow-up emails and all the technology and the funnels and whatever you're doing, or you put up the website. Back then it was printing the brochures. And those got to be printed, and then they got to be stuffed in the envelopes and put the postage on, and gone several trips to the post office to drop them all off. And then you wait a few days till they hit people's mailboxes. Then you wait a few more days till checks started coming in the mail. Well, we weren't just excited, not excited at all until the checks came in. I remember being so totally excited when I get that call from the printer, your printing is ready, and going to pick it up and bringing a couple of my guys, because we had to get boxes and boxes and boxes and fill the whole car. And sometimes as the business grew, we made 2 or 3 trips, bring it all back to the office, and we're like, check it out, the brochures are here. We were totally excited. We had a party. And a plane is going overhead having a party. There it goes. Whoa. And so, not sure if you can hear me. We'll let the plane go overhead. The beauty of live video. All right. So, we were excited. We had fun, and we had a party. Yeah, it was stuffing envelopes. I mean, not a lot of fun, but mentally, we made it a game. Just like Tom Sawyer. Hey, paint the fence. It's a game, right? Wax on, wax off. This is, that was kind of a task for Karate Kid there. But Tom Sawyer made it a game, and I made it a game, and it was fun. It was excitement. Excitement was in the air, because business owners know you got to take a risk. You got to invest. You got to lay the groundwork. You got to put in the time, the money, and the effort. And you don't always see the fruits of that labor immediately. So, Throwback Thursday to a few weeks ago, business is booming, economy's humming along every single day. You're selling more materials, more goods and services. Products are coming in, products are going out, sales are coming in, customer service, but everything is humming along. Well, now, for a lot of businesses, there are no sales, there are no customers. Things aren't happening right now. So you have a choice. You can think that it's winter, and a farmer would say in the winter, well, we kind of, repair, but they still don't do nothing, right? They repair their equipment, and they order new equipment, and they order the seeds, and they get ready for the next planting season. Or you can think, and in the case of many businesses right now, you can think winter just means desolate, empty, close the doors, sit at home, watch Netflix all day, and have nothing to do, and just feel sorry for ourselves, and hope and pray and wish that the government gets its act together, as if that's ever going to happen, and gets us a bailout and a loan and a gift and a handout, and what? That's not the America I know. That's not the small business owner I know. If that's you, please don't watch my videos. Just go get a handout. In fact, just go get a job or go on welfare altogether. Hopefully, you're not afraid of work. You just want to know that what you're working at is going to pay off. So right now, during the downturn, it's not the time, it's not the harvest, not the time to sell. It's the time to plant the seeds. That's what I want you to get into your mindset right now. It's the time to plant the seeds. Time to position your business so that when the downturn ends, when the shutdown ends, Trump says, Easter, good luck to that. The whole country has still been whipped into an over-panicked, over-feared frenzy by the government and the media, that kind of stuff, and they still think this is some highly contagious, deathly thing, even though, like I always say, Tom Hanks got it on but he was on a movie set with all kinds of other actors, directors, and grips and electricians. But haven't heard that all of them got it, so don't give me this wildly contagious kind of stuff and whatever. It's all overblown. That doesn't take away from the fact that the fear and the panic is very real. So not so sure it's coming back in a week or whenever Easter is, or it's coming back in a couple of weeks. So that gives you, again, a couple of weeks to either curl up in a ball and just do nothing all day and feel sorry for yourself, or to say, man, what an opportunity, because I can't really work on the business and plant the seeds the way I run my business normally, because I'm working in the business. I'm wearing all the hats. I'm doing the counting. I'm answering the phone. I'm going out on jobs. I'm doing too much doing. Well, right now, there's no doing to do. So now you can work on the business. Now you can pivot. Now you can transition. Now you can say, man, people want more convenience. They want things delivered in a different way. If it's a restaurant, they like takeout now. They like curbside pickup. Well, don't think it's ever going back, because people are getting used to the convenience and going, I kind of like, this happened years ago to sports. I kind of like watching sports at home. I got replays, I got announcers, I got my comfortable chair, I got my kitchen where I don't have to pay $10 for a beer, and I can go to my bathroom where I don't pee in a trough and wait online. I kind of like watching the game at home. So millions and millions of people enjoy watching the game at home, and tens of thousands actually go to the arena. It's nice to go to the arena once in a while, but I don't know if you've been to a game lately. If you're like me, you get there and you're like, oh, I'm kind of far away. I can barely see. There's no announcer telling me what's going on. Yeah, there's a jumbotron with a replay, but I don't really get the analysis and the 16 angles and what's going on, all the statistics popping up on the screen, the speed of the pitch and what the count is and what. Yeah, I know that's on the scoreboard somewhere, but I'm so used to it being so in front of me and the strike zone being superimposed on the plate. I'm on some kind of way angle up and in the outfield. I can't tell if that was a curveball, a fastball, a ball, a strike. Is the pitcher tired? How many pitches has he thrown? What's going on in the dugout? And it's a lot more enjoyable often to watch sports at home. Same with movies. Now, my beautiful wife Michelle, we like going to the movies, but we like going on special occasions. I used to go to the movies all the time, but now we like to go to the IMAX or the big screen when it's a big special effects movie. A big Star Wars or James Bond or Avatar, one of these special things come out, we like to go. But otherwise, if it's a drama, come on now, I can watch that at home on my TV, which is big enough, for crying out loud, compared to when I was a kid. These TVs are honkingly huge, and we got a sound bar, and again, we can sit in our most comfortable chair. Nobody's sitting in front of us that we can't see. We can get any food we want that doesn't cost 17 times more than it should in the store. We don't have to walk 100 feet and wait online and go to some bathroom we've never been in. We get to go to our own bathroom. We get to put a pause on the movie if we want to take a break and go to the kitchen or go to the bathroom. Man, it's an enjoyable experience to consume sports at home, movies at home, and now people learning to consume meals at home. Man, I can have a really nice fine dining restaurant deliver my steak and whatever, and I can eat it on my plates at my kitchen. We can go into my bathroom and drink the drink I want to drink without overpaying for it in the place, and I don't have to wait online and wait 45 minutes at the bar and have a guy talking too loud at the table next to me and the waiter pours something on me by mistake, someone bumps into me. I don't have to have any of that. I can eat in the most comfortable place in the world, my own home. So You get the point, and you don't even need me to tell you all that, right? Things are transitioning, and they're not going back to the way they were. Even if only a small percentage of restaurant owners say, hey, I really enjoy eating at home, I'm going to do a heck of a lot more takeout. And if only a few people that were going to sporting events or concerts or movie theaters say, I really enjoy this home streaming thing a little more, even if it's 5%, 10%, 15, 20%, doesn't have to be everybody. That puts a big dent in those industries, a big change. Okay, so big changes, and that's happening in every single industry. So, just about, again. Amazon even showed it. It happens even with toilet paper. People like it delivered to their house instead of having to drive a mile and put it in the trunk of the car and wait and go up and rest and wait online and cart your card around the whole thing. I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised, but it is really ridiculous to me that we're not allowed to go into a restaurant, but they can deliver to us because of social distancing, but we're allowed to go into a grocery store. Grocery stores don't have to deliver or curbside pickup. You call up, somebody walks around. They'd hire a lot of people. They'd walk all around. They get your list that you faxed or that you texted or emailed or filled out a form online or whatever. You got it to them through an app, anything. They would have their employees walk around, put all the stuff in bag carts, put it in bags, and then you come back up your car and they put it in and you go. Like, oh no, we can go into a grocery. It makes no sense. So the whole thing, of course, anyone that thinks about this logically, the whole fear and panic-demic, as I call it, is way overblown, and we've been sold a bill of goods, and it's a whole bunch of BS. And you can see even Trump fed up with the whole nonsense and wants the whole thing to be over in a week. But now it's too late, because the government and the media have already panicked everybody so that they're deathly afraid of something that is not as contagious or deathly as plenty of things we've faced before, probably including driving down the highway in a car or walking down a flight of stairs. Things are not coming back to the way they were. So now is the time to plant. Now is the time to put in the time, the effort, the money to transition, to understand the way people are going to want your type of products and services, and maybe you start getting into similar products or services. What can you do that's similar to what you do now that people aren't going to want anymore? They're certainly not wanting right now, but they're going to want in the future more. Now's the time. Take advantage. Okay? Be like a farmer. Farmer doesn't sit around all spring and all summer going, well, I don't make any money until, I can sell the crops. Well, there are no crops, dude, if you didn't work in the spring and the summer. And that's what's going to happen for a lot of business owners. You're going to be for a rude awakening when this shutdown ends. And you go, hey, wait a minute, customers aren't lining up to buy my stuff like they did before, and I didn't take advantage of that time I had to put in some thought and some time and some money and some effort into some transition, into pivoting, into coming out with something new and different and what the people want, and something even more efficient and a better way to run my business. You got all kinds of things you can do right now. So get excited. Get as excited as I did back in the day when the brochures arrived. The brochure, there wasn't dollar bills mixed in with them. The money didn't arrive yet, but we knew the brochures arrived. Now we got some more work to do to get these brochures out in the mail. Then we got to wait some time for them to get delivered, for the checks to come back. But these are the seeds. The brochures were the seeds of the money coming in. And then the money coming in, by the way, same thing. It was a seasonal business. It was a fantasy sports game business, my first multi-million dollar business. So when the money came in at the beginning of the season, well, we had to now serve the people all season. So now money had to go out. So even still, just because the money came in, probably in all your business, money comes in, you still have to now serve the products and the services and make them and ship them and serve customer service and the billing and accounting and whatever, and then restocking or whatever. Business is a constant flow. So right now, the flow in of the money isn't happening, but everything else should still be happening. This is the time. Make use of it. You're going to be sorry if you don't make use of this time while any of your competitors are smart enough to watch my videos or pay attention to anyone else that knows how to use the time during a shutdown, a downturn, whatever you want to call it. These things don't just happen because some mysterious virus that we all overblow to be something we've never seen before. No, the panic over a virus we've never seen before. The virus is a virus. And now they're like, oh, we have 70-year-old drugs to treat it even. Like, give me a break. But this happens at any time. A booming economy comes to a screeching halt at any time. Could be a local event, like a tornado. a hurricane, flood that zaps the whole area, and suddenly all business shuts down. Could be a war, and suddenly, boom, all business changes, and now all the factories are producing ammunition and planes and tanks and whatever, and uniforms instead of t-shirts. Or it could be this: shut down over a mysterious virus that's been overblown to scare the crap out of everybody. So be prepared, and then rejoice when these times hit that, yeah, okay, cash stopped coming into my business, but this gives me the time to make some improvements, make some changes. I'm going to come out smelling like a rose on the other end, but not if you use this time to curl up in a ball and cower in the corner in fear and praying and hoping for a government bailout, handout, loan, grant, whatever you want to call it. Those are going to come whether you're curled up in a ball in the corner or whether you're busy improving your business and getting ready. This is why fortunes are made in the downturns. Not the cash doesn't come in the downturn. Cash comes in once the economy turns back again. But all the groundwork is laid right now while your competitors, a lot of them, are curled up in a ball and saying, gee, there's nothing I can do. What am I going to do? They're just sitting there. You are going to be sitting pretty when this economy opens up again. That's my wish for you. And if you want help with it, as always, I'm here to help. My mission is to help as many small business owners as I can have more fun, make more money, have less stress, work smarter, not harder. That's what I love to do. Help me out to do what I love by going to helpsteve.com. Get onto my personal calendar. Can't give you all day, but I've set aside a few times. I'm doing a lot of interviews these days. People keep wanting me on their radio show, the podcast. Can you do a webinar? Can you do this? There's a lot of people getting a lot of help out there. You can get it personally from me one-on-one. Go to helpfromsteve.com, because the strategies in general, but which one or ones best apply to you in your situation right now? Obviously, it'd have to be on a video for like 17 years in a row. So I'll do those one-on-one. Go to helpfromsteve.com. Thanks for being here. Let's go to the questions, comments, concerns. Sid is here. Toby's here. Jeff, a whole bunch of people I already scrolled up and I can't get back. Toby says something else, but here he said, putting systems in place so you are prepared for the next time things go off the rails. Things are always going to go off the rails, right? But you even want to prepare for it's coming back. Rework your backup plan if it did not work well during this time. Okay, so you don't just, I agree 100%, but you don't want to just be prepared for the next time things go off the rails. You want to be prepared for a week, a month, 2 months, 6 months, whenever from now, when things come back, because they're not coming back. It's going to be a whole new world for most businesses. People are not going back to the old way. I mean, anytime you go to the airport, aren't we still taking our shoes off? What? Like, there hasn't been a shoe bomber, in forever, and there never will be, because they know we take our shoes off. That's an old school thing to do, but we're still doing it. But we're not going back to allowing guests. Remember the days you come, families right there at the gate? Oh no, we're not allowing people at the gate, and we're not even allowing cars to idle to pick people up at the airport. Things are not going back to the way they were after this either. So you're not just preparing for the next downturn, you're preparing for the next boom time. Or, like I said, you're just sitting around and hoping it comes back to normal. You're in for a rude awakening. Especially, again, if your competitors are doing what I suggest, they're going to steal all kinds of market share for you. So your customer's not necessarily even coming back to you if someone else is doing something for them right now that works. And there's plenty of things you can do. And Toby says, thank you for planting the seeds with me this winter. I love it. This winter. Okay, so that means, Toby, when Toby came down here to beautiful Phoenix in the winter, and we did plant some seeds, and hopefully you are planting them. I keep saying, please follow up with me, check in. I'd love to hear what's going on and give you some follow-up and some guidance along the way, but at least you check in once in a while in my live videos, and I thank you for that, and I hope you're doing fantastic. I hope everyone else is as well. Thanks. Any other questions, comments, concerns while you're watching the replay? As always, post them below wherever you're watching this, reading it, listening to it, however you're getting it. I always respond when appropriate. And I will be back tomorrow. It'll be Foundation Friday. We're going to do another part in our multi-part episode on J. Paul Getty's fantastic book, How to Be Rich. And I will relate for the last few weeks to the current crazy times that we are temporarily living in. And I will catch you then. And Greg is here. Long time, Greg. Great seeing you. Over and out. Catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.